y'all. Robbie TV, Shake Back Kid, we back live with it, baby. We back active with it. It be. What's up with y'all, man? How everybody doing? How everybody doing? Yeah, man. Got a couple topics to talk about today. Yeah, I just seen this plane went down. That was a bad crash. They said it was a UPS cargo plane or something like that. That's crazy. Yeah, that I just seen that went down. That it crashed. I was like, I don't know what that was about. You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's super crazy. And then we got the Baltimore City police officer, man. I just seen that they suspended him supposedly without pay. You know what I mean? But we gonna see how that go. You feel what I'm saying? Shit, his ass might be back on the force. Cause Baltimore City, we got some corrupt police. Baltimore City, we probably top 10 most corrupt. Shit, probably top 5 for real. All the shit we done had with the gun trace task force and all these other officers and shit. So yeah, we got it's a lot of corruption in Baltimore City. And he was dead wrong for doing that shit. He knew he couldn't catch Shorty, and he was probably on some bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know, niggas ain't even doing that. He probably just, well, you feel what I'm saying? Harassing motherfuckers for nothing. Nah, time out, dude. You know what I mean? The police, especially in the cities. And even if the guy was doing something, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know, I ain't saying he was wrong, you know, he probably wasn't. But even if he was, you know, that's still not the way to do it. You feel what I'm saying? You're supposed to get out and chase him and, you know what I mean, do it, whatever. But try to hit that man with the car. What if you would have really hit you with that car for real? You feel what I'm saying? Broke your leg, broke your arm or something. You know what I mean? That shit crazy, man. Like, that's and I'm glad Shorty was recording. Because if Shorty wasn't recording, man, that shit would have straight got swept under the rug. Wasn't nobody, officer would have still been on the street. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, we're gonna take a look at that too. That shit was crazy. I already hit that boy with that car, man. That's fucked up. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Like, subscribe, Robbie TV. We about to show this. We want to show the plane crash first, though. Want to see? I'm not sure. It was vacant. What's up? Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. That's crazy. Y'all see that? Dang. Said it was in Kentucky. Oh, no, this ain't even it. This is another plane crash. That don't look like it's it. It was UPS. Yeah, it was in Kentucky. Yeah. But I wasn't that. What the hell is that video? I just seen it.
Bro, get the fuck away from here, like, turn around. Bro, hold on. I think it's gonna crash, bro. Holy shit.
Damn.
Holy shit. Holy shit. And they're dead. They are dead, bro.
¡Oh, my God! ¡Corre para atrás, papi! ¿Viste? Te lo estoy diciendo, Dios mío.
Damn.
Ay, pinga.
¡Ay, Dios mío!
Pero que pinga. Vamos a ver.
¡Papi, cuidado!
Espérate.
¡Ay, Dios mío, señor! ¡Ay!
Look at all that smoke.
¡Mira la cantidad de gente corriendo candela, papi!
Bro, get the fuck away from here, like, turn around.
Look at that shit again.
Bro, hold on. I think it's gonna crack, bro. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Damn.
Holy shit. They're dead. They are dead, bro.
Rest in peace, whoever that was, man. Rest in peace to them.
Oh my God.
Ay,
Corre
pinga.
para atrás, papi. ¿Viste? Te lo estoy diciendo, Dios mío.
Damn.
Ay, pinga.
Ay, Dios mío.
Pero que pinga. Vamos a ver.
I see all that smoke.
Get up. Get up.
Ay, Dios mío, señor.
Pinga, hacer. Cojones.
Mira la cantidad de gente cogiendo candela, papi.
Bro,
God damn, man. It's been a lot of plane crashes going on. I don't know what that was about. Let's go and see if they got some. We're gonna go on YouTube. But it's been a lot of plane crashes going on. It could have just been, just a bad, accident. It could have been something bigger than that. We never know with these days, man. Shit, that's crazy. Hopefully everybody, on that plane, rest in peace to them. That definitely was a bad situation. Yeah, that was bad right there. That was real bad. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Like, subscribe. Oh, it was at the airport, too. I know that shut down a lot of flights. I wonder, was that because, well, that might have been, that looked like that might have been. Oh, they say, dang, 7 dead, 11 injured. Woo. I ain't gonna lie, that's bad right there. So a lot of people that when they crash, I know hopefully people wasn't around the area. You know what I mean? That's just terrible.
Now at least 7 people are dead. Another 11 hurt
Damn.
after this. The cargo plane crashing next to Louisville, Kentucky's airport, directly hitting a petroleum recycling plant and other buildings on the ground. The governor said the death toll will likely
Petroleum
rise
plant.
even more.
So hopefully
The
nothing
crash
ain't
sending up this giant cloud of
leak.
smoke and sending debris raining down.
The white pieces of part of your plane. But yeah, there's definitely debris all through here.
Thanks for joining us here tonight at 11. I'm Steve Botari.
And I'm Monica Hernandez. This video is from our sister station in Kentucky, and you can just see this path of destruction, the fire and smoke left behind by that crash. Firefighters say it is almost under control now. Some of the video we're about to show you, though, can be hard to watch. Marissa Tansino is taking us through it.
Monica, Steve, we do want to warn you, this video is difficult to watch. You can see the plane trying to take off from the airport in Louisville with flames shooting out of it. Then it drops out of the sky, and then the explosion. This all happening just after 5 p.m. when that UPS plane set for Honolulu was trying to take off. Governor Andy Beshear saying earlier tonight he expects the number of those dead and injured to grow. UPS saying there were 3 crew members on board that plane. Those 3 crew members have died. Another 4 people not in the plane are also dead. Governor Beshear listing well over a dozen agencies that were on scene responding to this. He had a message to the families and friends of those impacted by this violent crash.
And there are a lot of families that are going to be waiting and wondering for a period of time. We're going to try to get them that information as fast as we can. But if this is a family you know, please give them your support. Please give them your prayers. Please give them your love and be with them, because the toughest moments, and I can say it from personal experience, are when you're wondering whether that person that you know and you care about has survived something like this.
We also spoke with a man from New Hampshire who's in Kentucky right now about the moment he got the alert on his phone to shelter in place.
All of our phones blow up with Amber Alerts, and we're like, yo, what is going on? It's not tornado season. And it's like, oh, shelter in place. There's been an incident at the Louisville airport.
Smoke. Oh my goodness.
Anyone in a 5-mile radius, don't leave your house. I saw 4 or 5 ambulance rip down the highway.
All that smoke.
So the shelter-in-place order has been reduced to a 1-mile radius of the airport, and there's a reunification center set up at the Louisville Metro Police Department training facility. Steve?
Wow, look at all that smoke, man. Did y'all see that? Yo, that was crazy. All that smoke right there. Then they say it hit a petroleum plant or something like that. So, man, you know how stuff just don't be happening like that just mysteriously. You know what I mean? Or like it be a coincidence. It don't be a coincidence. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's crazy because we never know what that area might want. We never know what they might want to do with that area. You never know. You feel what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You might want to take a deeper look into this because these plane crashes, boy, I tell you, they ain't like they just getting mysteriously, and a lot of them is happening. And then all this stuff with the land, that stuff might leak into the soil. You see all that smoke in the air and all that. Yeah, that ain't looking too good right there. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was real bad. That was real bad, man. So hopefully them people, and then they say it was people that wasn't even on that plane that was around the area. That I'm pretty sure that, from the smoke or from the debris or from probably the propellers, the turbine, whatever, you know what I mean? Just probably just in that facility. Cause like it crashed into they say a plant or something like that. So people that probably was working at it and didn't had nothing to do with the plane or anything. They said unfortunately they lost their life. You feel what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man. It's that right there. I don't think that was no coincidence. I don't know what that was about. You know what I mean? I don't know what they got going on in Kentucky. You feel what I'm saying? They might want to take that land. They might want to do anything. You never know. You feel what I'm saying? That company probably was privately owned or something. They probably got to do eminent domain, anything. You never know what they want to do. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of, it could be a lot of reasons why they do stuff like this, and they like, man, shit. If it costs a couple lives, people they know these companies and these big corporations and all that. They don't care. People, regular people like me and you know what I mean, lose our life just because they want to they want to gain some extra control, make some extra money or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Like I know y'all seen my last video about this AI, and I ain't tripping about that. And I showed y'all the video with the Godfather AI. He's saying AI could, you know what I mean, wipe out humanity. So if that's the case, why keep messing with stuff? You know what I mean? Keep digging the hole deeper and deeper for ourselves. But it is what it is, man. It's crazy. But this right here with this plane crash, that was I don't think that was no coincidence. Like that planes just don't go down like that, bro. Then from what I'm hearing, they said it was just ready to take off and it crashed. Like I mean, that ain't really that don't sound too organic to me. You feel what I'm saying? That sound a little, you feel me? Like, so let's see if we can get some more details on it. Yeah, that's crazy though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, these people, man, they people out here losing their life and all this type stuff just because they got these big corporations trying to make their extra money. You feel what I'm saying? Make so they don't care about the people. You know what I mean? Which we already know that, but let's see if we can find some. See if we can get an update for real. You know what I mean? And I ain't, ain't too much going on probably. Well, we don't know, but it's a lot going on. What happened? Yeah, it's really something ain't right. Let's see.
You're one of us. That's why we created new
Entire MTSP.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man.
Sincere condolences to those.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel. Robbie TV.
Who were not only affected by losing family members in this accident, but those that were also injured and those that are still missing. To make sure we have it exact. The airplane involved was a McDonnell Douglas II, which was then altered to be an MD-11F. The F stands for freighter. It is now handled by the Boeing Corporation. So whenever you hear that Boeing is a party, it is because of the merger with McDonnell Douglas many years ago.
We know about
Boeing. The plane was manufactured in 1991 with the tail number of November 259U.
And just to be clear, I had watched a video on Boeing. It was a guy, a whistleblower. We see if I can find. Okay, so it started. Okay, so I'm starting. You know what I mean? You get a little detail. You start going. You mean rabbit holes start getting a little deeper for real. But it's a video. I will see if I can find it over here. But it was a guy. Maybe I know it's probably on TikTok. but it's a guy on he worked for Boeing. You feel what I'm saying? He was saying how Boeing was cutting costs. You remember all these planes was going down? Like, remember planes was going down like every month, like last year and beginning of this year and all that. Planes was just going down like crazy. But a couple years ago, I think I seen I seen a video when all the planes started going down. The video resurfaced, but it was from years ago of a engineer that worked for Boeing. He worked for y'all. If y'all don't know Boeing, it's at the airplane company. They make all the airplanes. You feel what I'm saying? They make for American Airlines, Southwest, any airline. 9 times out of 10 is coming from Boeing or a sub division of Boeing. You're like, hey, how they just say Boeing just merged with this company or whatever. Because Boeing is probably the biggest airplane company, you know what I mean, out there. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know, and we gonna do some research on that too while we here. So now, because I figured that, you know what I mean, it was with Boeing. But I say all that to say, Boeing, it was a guy that worked for Boeing, an engineer. He worked for that, you know what I mean, decades and all that. But he blew the whistle and saying that Boeing is cutting corners and they cutting costs. You feel what I'm saying? With engineers, and they saying that they having planes, you know, they doing recalls and stuff like that, and they not taking them out, you know what I mean? Because they already basically they trying Boeing is cutting costs to gain extra money, but it's costing people their life. And the engineer was saying this stuff. He like, look, man, you know, this plane, this ain't working. You know what I mean? The seatbelt, something for this plane ain't working. You know what I mean? Just pointing out shit. And Boeing, you know, the supervisor and the high ups, they like, man, fuck that shit. We gonna let these planes go out, roll them out. You know what I mean? American Airlines, Delta, United, they need these planes. You feel what I'm saying? Spirit, all these airlines and all the other ones that's, you know, below them. You know what I mean? It's just so many airline companies, Turkish Airlines, fucking JetBlue. It's so many different airlines now. You know what I mean? I just fly Southwest or United. You know what I mean? 'Cause they the only ones that really I can afford. All the other ones, they too high for me. Delta and all, they too high. But I basically, make a long story short, a guy that worked for Boeing, he was an engineer. He blew the whistle and said Boeing is cutting corners with building these planes. You know what I mean? And we're gonna find the video. And he's saying that they cutting corners with these planes. They not building them right. They not taking their time building them how they supposed to. And that's why these planes is going down like this. So this might be a situation like that. You feel what I'm saying? Where that plane might have got recalled, or they might have had problems with that plane. You know what I mean? The pilot probably didn't feel comfortable flying that motherfucker. You know what I mean? But I mean, he getting paid 100,000, whatever. You know what I mean, to do it. So he like, you know, he probably ain't even know. You know what I mean? Because they probably keep that shit on the hush. You feel me? So, but we gonna find that video with Boeing. It was because I'm pretty sure y'all remember all these planes falling out the sky a couple months ago and last year. You know what I mean? It was a whole bunch of planes that was just falling out the sky. So, and then that video resurfaced of that guy that worked for Boeing that I'm talking about that said, you know, Boeing cutting corners, man, and, you know, just costing people their life. You feel what I'm saying? And Boeing know this. They know it. You know what I mean? They still rolling out these planes. So, you know, that saying that this plane was a Boeing plane, that just says a lot. You know what I mean? Right there.
P. The plane was traveling from Louisville, Kentucky to Honolulu, Hawaii. There were 3 souls on board the plane. After being cleared for takeoff, a large plume of fire in the area of the left wing occurred during the takeoff roll. The plane lifted off and gained enough altitude to clear the fence at the end of runway 17R. Shortly after clearing that fence, it made impact with structures and the terrain off of the airport property.
Damn.
A post-impact fire ensued, which covers approximately almost a half of a mile. And we have viewed airport CCTV security coverage, which shows the left engine detaching from the wing during the takeoff roll. This and other videos, along with evidence we are finding, are a very valuable asset to our investigators in helping us hone further which areas we were going to be focusing on as we move into further days of the investigation. Now, let me tell you a little bit about our process at the NTSB. What we will do is analyze the facts, determine the probable cause of this accident, and then issue a report on those recommendations. Now, the investigator in charge of this is with me here. It's Chi-Hoon Shin, who has been with the NTSB for 13 years. He is one of our more senior investigators, and in fact was leading one of the groups during the DCA crash. He has a number of other individuals with him. We have approximately 28 from our headquarters and other locations that are either on the ground or will be here before the end of the day. They're also being supported by dozens of individuals at our headquarters in Washington, D.C. and other field offices. As part of this investigation, we will be forming specific groups. And when we form a group, it will be a focus area led by an NTSB individual.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe, man. Like, subscribe.
Experts that are in that field that can provide expertise to help analyze the evidence. Our current groups that are being formed are
That might be a spy.
They will review the history of the accident, crew members' duties for as many days before the crash could appear relevant. Our structures group will document the airframe wreckage, the accident scene, including the calculation of the impact angles to help determine the plane's pre-impact course and altitude. We also have a power plants group. They will work on the examination of the engines and engine accessories. We have a systems group. They will study the components of the plane's hydraulic, electrical, pneumatic, and associated systems, together with the instruments and elements of the flight control system.
Vistaprint prints everything to get your brand in front of your fans, like t-shirts, water bottles, and totes, so everyone can gift it, work in it, and take it. Whether it's one of a kind or one for your whole team, if you need it, we print it with 20% off for new customers at Vistaprint.
Now, outside of that group, we have also brought in, and another group that we'll have will be maintenance, which will obviously be looking at maintenance records, any work that's been done on this plane for as long as back as needed. We are also bringing in specialists in air traffic control, human performance, aircraft performance, reporters, government relations, media relations. And in addition to our investigators, we have brought 5 of our transportation disaster assistance team. They will be dealing with the survivors, the families, and others under what we call a federally legislated accident from the 1996 Family Assistance Act. Now, tonight we will be holding an organizational meeting and establishing parties to our investigation. Because we're very new into it, we'll not be announcing the parties at this moment, but they will obviously be manufacturers of the aircraft, operators of the aircraft, unions representing some of the members. We'll have more details on that probably tomorrow during a briefing. Now, the NTSB offers this party status to those companies, government agencies, and associations that have employees or activities or equipment involved in the accident. And we offer this because they have subject matter expertise and technical expertise and relevant information to help support the development of the best possible report. Now, once a party...
All right, that's enough. All right, so now we know that it's made by Boeing. You know what I mean? It's a pilot right here. Let's see what he say. I don't know this guy, Captain Steve. Make sure y'all like, subscribe.
All right, 3 dead, 11 taken.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Let me see.
And you got full power on the right side. It's going to be so dramatic. It's going to be very...
So let's see. Let me see if I can show y'all that Boeing. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. There was a guy. It's 60 minutes. I don't know. I'm gonna get food. I'm gonna get my phone. There was a. But I'm gonna show y'all. They've been having problems at Boeing. And I fly. I be on Boeing's 730s. You know what I mean? A lot of the airlines, they buy this you know, the smaller ones. You might get some 747s, 757s, 737s, 767s. You feel what I'm saying? Like for airlines. But mostly we be on like mostly 737s. They like the medium-sized regular planes, but let me show y'all. All right, we're gonna watch this one. Hopefully, um, this is short right here. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. If you just tapped in, we just watched the plane crash that happened in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm not sure if y'all seen it, man, but yeah, we're gonna play it back. And it was made by Boeing. You feel what I'm saying? The company Boeing, they make all the airplanes. You know what I mean? Most of them. And it's been a lot of speculation about Boeing, man. You feel what I'm saying? The airplane company. They've been making they've been making a lot of what you talking about? Cosmic. Hey man, when we come on man with the goofy shit. We ain't doing all that, man. You want some good put you on timeout. Getting goofy. Want the dumb shit. Got time for that. Trying to speak facts, bro. You know what I mean? A lot of niggas, you know what I mean? We a lot of people, let me get my talking points. A lot of people fly on airplanes, man. So this is a serious situation. You feel what I'm saying? And Boeing make most of the airplanes that we fly on. So, but I'm told y'all this is the whistleblower right here. Yeah. I want to make clear that I have raised these issues over 3 years. I was ignored. I was told not to create delays. I was told, frankly, to shut up. At one point, Boeing management got sick of me and raising these issues and moved me out of the 787 program into this 777 program. On the 777 program, I found problems. Again, I found that Boeing started a new process to build the airplane without taking into the consideration of the design of the airplane and how the airplane was designed. As a result, I witnessed severe misalignment when the planes were assembled. Boeing manufacturing used unmeasured and unlimited amount of force to correct the misalignment. And this also weakens the airplane in the long run. I literally saw people jumping on the pieces of the airplane to get them to align. I call it the Tarzan effect. I want to make clear that I have raised these issues over 3 years. I was ignored. I was told not to create delays. I was told, frankly, to shut up. At one point, Boeing management got sick of me and raising these issues and moved me out of the 787 program into this 777 program. On the 777 program, I found problems. Again, I found that Boeing started a new process to build the airplane without taking into the consideration of the design of the airplane and how the airplane was designed. As a result, I witnessed severe misalignment when the planes were assembled. Boeing manufacturing used unmeasured and unlimited amount of force to correct the misalignment. And this also weakens the airplane in the long run. I literally saw people jumping on the pieces of the airplane to get them to align. I call it the Tarzan effect. Yo said I call it the Tarzan effect. You got engineers jumping on airplanes to get them to align. You know what I mean? Like they cutting corners, man. They not doing things the right way to build these planes. You know what I mean? Because they trying to mass production. They money hungry. You feel what I'm saying? So, and you got people that work at Boeing that's saying that. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why these planes is going down. You know what I mean? And if you don't know, shit, you better know. Because if you fly on airplanes, and most, I'm pretty sure at least 70, probably, I'm gonna say 75% of the world flies on airplanes. The world, you know what I mean? 75%. Even you got some people, you know what I mean? Old people that just don't like airplanes. You know what I mean? Some people might just go by water or go by, you know what I mean, cars. Some people don't like, you know what I mean? Some people don't travel at all. So, but as I'm saying though, at least 70% of the population of the whole world, I don't give a fuck where you at, what country you in, wherever, they travel by airplane, bro. You know what I mean? And most of the time, probably out of that 70, probably 65% travel by major airline. Like I just said, Delta, American, and all that. And these Delta and America, American Airlines and all these companies, airline companies, they buy their airplanes from Boeing. So if you got the guy that's coming from the product and saying, yo, the product ain't good, man. These people cutting corners, they, you know what I mean? They product ain't good, it ain't pure. They trying to be money hungry. They skipping steps, they jumping on airplanes and shit, trying to get them to align. You're not supposed to be able to do that. That shit supposed to align straight up. If you ain't, you gotta do, they doing something wrong. But they like, fuck it, we ain't gonna do that. You know what I mean? It's costing people their life. You know what I mean? Because these airplanes is going down. And they come to find out they Boeing airplanes. Most of them is Boeing. You know what I mean? The company that the airplanes is going down, that's crashing, is Boeing. You feel me? So you gotta put two and two together, man. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Like, this shit ain't no, like, yeah, babe, like, look, it's
Should Boeing ground the 787 right now to check the gap sizes? I would say they need to. The entire fleet worldwide. The entire fleet worldwide, as far as I'm concerned, right now, needs an attention. And the attention is you need to check your gaps, make sure that you don't have potential for premature failure. Should Boeing ground the 787 right now to check the gap sizes? I would say they need to. The entire fleet worldwide. The entire fleet worldwide, as far as I'm concerned right now, needs an attention. And the attention is you need to check your gaps, make sure that you don't have.
And this was April 16, 2024.
Should Boeing ground?
You know what I mean? Like, yo, this shit real. This shit ain't no joke. These motherfucking planes is going down, man. You know what I mean? Like, you can look.
A Boeing whistleblower has been found dead in the U.S. His name is John Barnett. Barnett was in South Carolina for the Boeing case. When officials went looking, they found him dead inside his truck. You may remember the mid-air incident from January.
I remember him.
A Boeing plane's door panel just flew off. After that, the US FAA decided to investigate Boeing's production process. As part of their probe, they conducted 89 tests. 33 out of 89, that's a 37% failure rate. If you think this problem is only Boeing's, you're wrong. The problem affects all of us. Two companies dominate this market, America's Boeing and Europe's Airbus. Together, they make up 99% of all large planes. So what happens if one of them fails?
99%.
The whole industry.
Come on, man. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. We gonna go back. We guys listen to that one more time, but I gotta just talk my shit real quick. What I tell y'all, man, this shit ain't no game out here. They make up. They two. I told you, they two major companies. She said Airbus, that's Europe, and Boeing for America, and all the rest of, you know what I mean? They make up 99% of the planes commercial are flying around the world. You feel what I'm saying? This, you heard what she said? You think this just affects Boeing? You're wrong. This affects all of us. You feel what I'm saying? And Boeing, they own all the little small probably Air France and all that. They own all of them. You know what I mean? They plane, they just a sub company. You know what I mean? That's what big companies do. Like how Meta bought Instagram and Google bought YouTube, and you know what I mean? These companies they bond companies, and they still let the company keep the name and all that. That shit, they just the parent company now. You know what I mean? Like, this shit get deep, man. This shit ain't no joke. But she just proved my point again. Hold on, we gonna let her say it again though, cause this she broke it down real. You know what I mean? For real. She got an accent. I got an accent. You know what I mean? But you listen, you get the message. You feel what I'm saying? For real. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel too, man. Subscribe.
A Boeing whistleblower has been found dead in the U.S. His name is John Barnett. Barnett was in South Carolina for the Boeing case. When officials went looking, they found him dead inside his truck. You may remember the mid-air incident from January. A Boeing plane's door panel just flew off. After that, the US FAA decided to investigate Boeing's production process. As part of their probe, they conducted 89 tests. 33 out of 89, that's a 37% failure rate. 37%. If you think this problem is only Boeing's, you're wrong. The problem affects all of us. Two companies dominate this market, America's Boeing and Europe's Airbus. Together, they make up 99% of all large planes. 99%. So what happens if one of them fails? The whole industry will be disrupted. A Boeing whistleblower has been found dead in the US. Listen one more time. His name is John Barnett. Barnett was in South Carolina for the Boeing case. When officials went looking, they found him dead inside his truck. You may remember the mid-air incident from January. A Boeing plane's door panel just flew off. After that, the US FAA decided to investigate Boeing's production process. As part of their probe, they conducted 89 tests. 33 out of 89, that's a 37% failure rate. If you think this problem
33 out of 89
Boeing's,
failed tests.
you're wrong. The problem affects all of us.
Listen.
Two companies dominate this market, America's Boeing and Europe's Airbus. Together, they make up 99% of all large planes. So what happens if one of them fails? The whole industry will be disrupted. A Boeing whistleblower has been found dead in the US. His name is John Barnett.
They make up 99% of the planes, man. Come on now, this shit ain't no game. John, I remember him too. John Barnett, I remember him. I remember him. That's crazy. Man, I remember him too. That's crazy. I remember this guy. I remember this case. It's crazy because I ain't heard nothing from it. You feel me, son? That's why I'm like, that's why when it's playing, that's why I'm like, man, this ain't nothing. You know what I mean? It just sparked something back in my mind. You know, you forget about something, you don't really hear it like that, and then it just go away. Then so much other stuff happen. You like that, and that's what's happening now, man. They hitting us with so much stuff. Your attention span only can catch for so much. You feel what I'm saying? Like, for real. But I remember this guy, John Barnett. You feel what I'm saying? I remember him. And I remember this case. And that's crazy. They found him dead, man. That's crazy. It's crazy, man. That shit ain't no coincidence, I tell you that. That shit ain't no coincidence, man.
Barnett, a former Boeing employee and whistleblower, was found dead in his truck at a Charleston hotel on Saturday, March 9th. According to the BBC, Barnett was a Boeing employee until 2017. Barnett, who regularly voiced his concerns about problems at Boeing, had been in Charleston for legal interviews regarding failed tests of the emergency oxygen systems for Boeing's 787 Dreamliners. The BBC reported that the Charleston County coroner confirmed the cause of death was a self-inflicted wound.
Wow.
Though Barnett worked for Boeing for more than 3 decades, only the last few years of his career were spent in Charleston. This location in South Carolina is where Boeing's final assembly line, or FAL, for the Dreamliners is located. Barnett was a quality manager for the 787 program, and during his tenure, he raised several concerns with management which were ignored. This led to the manager becoming a whistleblower. The point at which Barnett brought his first and many concerns to Boeing is unknown, and the order in which they were brought about is also unclear. However, in 2019, Barnett told the BBC that due to pressure on some employees, parts that were not up to standard were still being installed on the 787s. He claimed that the problem started shortly after work began in South Carolina, and he felt that the process was unsafe and rushed. The manufacturer denied some of his concerns, but a Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, review proved Barnett right on some accounts. A 2017 review confirmed that the locations of at least 53 non-conforming parts were unknown.
53.
This was not Barnett's only concern. During his work, he found that 25% of tests performed on the emergency oxygen systems on the 787s failed. Boeing confirmed it had received some oxygen bottles from the supplier that did not deploy properly, and added that none of these had been installed on its aircraft. He's in a long-time legal battle with his former employer. Barnett filed a defamation lawsuit after retirement, claiming Boeing harmed his career because he voiced the problems he encountered. Boeing denied this and was going head-to-head with him. Last week, Barnett was in a deposition where he was questioned by Boeing's legal team and then cross-examined by his own legal counsel. On Saturday, March 9th, when Barnett failed to show up for further questioning, his attorneys tried to contact him but could not. Barnett was then found with self-inflicted wounds inside of a pickup truck at his hotel.
Wow.
Most recently, Barnett spoke to TMZ about his concerns with the 737 MAX 9, following the incident where a door plug blew out on an Alaska Airlines flight.
Alaska Airlines. All right, hold on. So let's slow it down real quick. Let's slow it down. Let's let it marinate, baby. Let it marinate. Yeah, baby. I told you, Boeing, they got so many different, really, for real, what happens is, Boeing is the socket, fuck the plug, they the socket. Boeing makes all the airplanes. And you got these companies, Delta, American, Southwest, whatever, Air Alaska, Air India, Air France, all these different companies, you feel what I'm saying, JetBlue, United, all these companies, Spirit, even them, which I don't fuck with Spirit, fuck that. They give them probably all the bad plays. We could have Spirit. But it's if I had to, I would. I'm just joking. But I say all this to say, Boeing makes all the planes. As the lady just told, we heard the lady say, and as we hearing this guy, which he sound like AI, but that might be his real voice. I know. As we hear him saying it, Boeing makes all the planes, and these companies, they buy the planes from Boeing. You know what I mean? Probably at maybe a discount rate. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they do. And they slap their label on there. So it's a Boeing plane, but it say Air France. Or it's a Boeing plane, but it say American Airlines or Delta, or you get etc. You get my drift. You know what I mean? So the point that I'm making is, it don't matter the company that you go with, the plane is still bad. So you can be like, fuck it, I'm flying first class, I'm fine. Who they say probably the best? Maybe not United. What's the other one? Delta. I'm flying Delta first class. Get me a Sky Lounge. All at this flight 5,000. You know what I mean? And your plane still might. You know what I mean? Not on wood, but it still might fail because it's still a Boeing plane. It don't matter if you with United. It don't matter if you with Spirit. You know what I mean? Even though they just say like they give Spirit all the bad planes. But you know what I mean? And Spirit, they just, but that's what I'm saying though. Boeing, the company is bad. You know what I mean? And they still selling their planes to these airline companies. You feel what I'm saying? And they probably not telling them, but and they probably is, because these airlines don't care neither. You know what I mean? They in it for the money. Everybody in it for the money. You know what I mean? It's America. This shit is a business. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how it's going, man. And people losing their life. That's why you see these planes going, especially in these other countries. We just seen Air India and all these other. They give them all the bad planes too. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Like, I just had to get on here and give y'all some knowledge. You feel what I'm saying? Because I already knew like this shit wasn't no coincidence that these planes going down. Once they said it was a Boeing plane, I'm like, oh yeah. And it's crazy that this guy John Barnett, I remember this case he was fighting. Because remember all these planes kept going down last year, like fucking 8, 9 planes went down. Hell, and that's probably the only ones we seen in America. You know what I mean? Like, it was a lot of them going down in other countries and shit. They stay going down. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, but I'm gonna definitely keep tabs on this guy too, John. That's crazy they did that, man. And I remember he definitely wasn't suicidal. I don't think he was. You know what I mean? So we just gonna allege everything. You know what I mean? But that's crazy. That's crazy though. That's crazy. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even realized that. Let me see. Let me go to this show.
The FAA is saying that the plane is now safe to fly. What do you say?
Like, subscribe.
This is not a 737 problem. It's a Boeing problem. Back in 2012, Boeing started removing inspection operations off their jobs. So it left the mechanics to buy off their own work. Issues being ignored. My concerns are with the 737 and the 787, because those programs have really embraced the theory that quality is overhead and non-value added. So those two programs have really put a strong effort into removing quality from the process.
The FAA is saying that the plane is now safe to fly. What do you say?
One, this is not a 737 problem. It's a Boeing problem. Back in 2012, Boeing started removing inspection operations off their jobs. So it left the mechanics to buy off their own work. Issues being ignored. My concerns are with the 737 and the 787, because those programs have really embraced the theory that quality is overhead and non-value added.
Overhead.
So those two programs have really put a strong effort into removing quality from the process.
The FAA is...
Heard that from the man himself, man. Rest in peace to him, man. I don't think he was suicidal. You feel what I'm saying? It's crazy that, you know, Boeing, their company, they're a $1 billion company. Let's go to Google real quick and see. Or ChatGPT. Yeah, it's ChatGPT on there. Let's go to ChatGPT. What is Boeing net worth 2025? Let's see. Let's see. 155 billion. Yep. Well, yeah. 155 billion. 155 between 155 and 170 billion. Let's see. How many planes does Boeing sell to other companies? Let me put airline. Let's see. Then delivered 385 aircraft. Yep. Shit, that's a lot. Let's see. What companies does Boeing sell their airplanes to? No. These. Let me see. You want to see it, What American companies does Boeing sell their airplanes to? Let's see. I keep saying companies. Let me see. Airlines. I know that's JetBlue and all that. Let's see. Oh, American Airlines. Yeah. American Airlines, yeah. 737s. And that's what he said. He just said 737s. 737s and 787s. He said, don't fly on them. If you can, don't fly on them. They ain't good. You know what I mean? Coming from the horse's mouth, man. And this guy worked that bone. And that was, what, 4 different... I forgot about John Barnett. He was the most famous one. But the other 3 we just seen, that was 3 other people we just seen. You know what I mean? 3 other whistleblowers that I didn't even know. We just seen shorts on them. So, yeah, man, it's crazy. I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna be back on, though, a little later tonight, probably like 11:30. Now everybody get in because it's a little slow right now. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man, y'all definitely, you know, get on the airline, you say a prayer because you never know. You know what I mean? These airlines and these companies, man, even with car companies, they cutting corners, man, big time. And they don't care. They in it, like you say, for the overhead, less overhead. They in it for the money. And if it's going to save them 100, 200, 300 million, 5 billion a year, whatever, so they can keep making money and keep their pockets fat, they don't care if it's going to be some people that got to be a sacrifice for that. They don't care. You know what I mean? So that shit crazy, man. These companies, they make all this money. You know what I mean? We paying money. We can't even say, they ain't even securing our safety. You feel what I'm saying? So that shit crazy, man. You know what I mean? And I forgot all about John Barnett. I forgot all about him, man. I did. Because that case was big last year because all them planes was going down. So, yeah, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Like, subscribe. I'm going to be back on. We're going to definitely talk about that officer that tried to hit the guy in Baltimore too, he did run for that, man. You know what I mean? Still a lot of bullshit going on. You know what I mean? So we definitely gonna touch on that situation. And couple other situations we got Tank. We just seen Tank and Jake Paul. They just canceled the fight. You know what I mean? Jake Paul talking crazy about Tank. We definitely gonna have to touch on that. You know what I mean? I don't know who Jake Paul been getting too big headed, bro. Like I don't know who this guy. You know what I mean? I get it, Jake Paul. You famous in the YouTube world and all that. You got money, but come on, bro. We dealing with real solidified street guys. You know what I mean? Like some real solidified stand up men. You know what I mean? That came from nothing. You know what I mean? So. And I ain't taking nothing from Jake Paul, you know what I mean? He know he flat out. That's our guy. So man, shout out to Tank, man. That's fucked up that girl did that, fucked his money up and all that. But you know what I mean? Tank gonna get back, right? He ain't about the money. You know what I mean? I'm glad to fight off anyway, because it was going to benefit Jake Paul more than it was going to benefit Tank anyway. Tank just was in it for the money. But Tank solidified, you know what I mean, already. You know what I mean? And he already, Jake Paul already know what's up with Tank. Tank the best boxer out right now. You know what I mean? He ain't, I mean, Tank might, his mind ain't right. So, you know what I mean? He got, but he gonna get that. You know what I mean? Tank the soldier. You know what I mean? Come from the trenches of Baltimore, baby, West Baltimore. 17 at that too. You know what I mean? So you already know, man. We gonna get back right. That's what we do. We bounce back. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel. We definitely gonna keep updates on this situation too, and you know what I mean, with these planes and shit. Cause I was trying to hit Puerto Rico or something for the New Year's or something, you know what I mean? But it's like, man, these planes and shit, yo. You take a rest every day, so it is what it is, man. Just like you say, you make sure you know what I mean, do right while you're here on earth. You know what I mean? That way your good deeds can overweigh your bad deeds, man. And you know what I mean? So that's what it is. Robbie TV, Shake Back Kid, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel. Check out my other lives. Check out my other content. I'm ready to just go all out on this channel. I was thinking, like, should I create another channel? And I am going to create another channel, too. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm in between, like, I'm mixing content. Because I still want to get my travel content. But I don't really travel as much as I would want to. You know what I mean? Like, I like to travel, but that shit is expensive. And I got a job and shit. You feel me? So that's all. But we gonna get it right. I think I'm gonna just make this channel for like stuff like this, world events, and I'm gonna create another channel just for travel. You know what I mean? I'm gonna start doing some regular videos too. You feel what I'm saying? Just little 10, 12, 14-minute videos, nothing too crazy. So yeah, man, make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, Robbie TV.